All right, I'm starting this stream a little bit earlier, about 5 minutes earlier. We're going to wait for people to come in. It's going to be a very productive stream. So right now, we're going to wait about a few minutes, about 5 minutes, to get some people in, and then we're going to talk. People will join. But this live stream, we're going to be talking about the what's been happening. We've been right the big picture on the short term for the market to go lower since a few weeks ago, since pretty much the first week of the month. Okay, and it's been very choppy, but the end result, as you can see with the SPY, and we're going to talk about this over here because this was challenging, and we had trades that worked and didn't work. But if we total the majority of the trades, like things like Caterpillar or Home Depot, Nvidia, Netflix, you name it, the SPY itself, we were correct, the big picture, but the market never made it easy. And this is going to happen. Meanwhile, you can be correct and still be wrong on the short term sometimes, because no system is 100% correct all the time, meaning that you can be right, but still, due to multiple signals, you can miss out on some stuff, right? But that's okay, because in the big picture, to be correct and be able to really make big dollar bills, you want to be right most of the time, okay? There are people that are very wrong most of the time, and then they claim that they're correct, but they've been wrong for a year or two, so that doesn't count. If you're wrong for more than a few days to a month or even a couple of weeks, then you're totally wrong. That's my opinion. Let's take a look at some people coming in here. Everybody hear me? Hello, 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 Matt. Everybody hear me? Good, good, good. So what we're going to talk about the SPY. Now, yesterday when we reversed, I got scared out of a lot of my my put positions. However, was I wrong, the big picture, in the short term? No. And that's what's really important. Now, you have people like the stock clown that were bearish since over here, yet they want to claim that they're correct when they're not correct. If you were, I want to ask everybody, even yourself, a question. If you claim that the market is bearish back here, this is a great example, in 2016 in December, okay, 225, massively bearish, and you are wrong all this over here. Do you really know what you're talking about? Does a person really know what they're talking about? Now let's flip it to me. Who has been massively correct, the big picture, since February 11, 2016, documented in videos? It's been me. But even though I'm this correct, you cannot be correct on every metric move. But when we call about what I said weeks ago, I was massively correct, the big picture on the short term. This day here was a tough one, and I'll tell you why. You got to understand here, and still the market, I'm going to talk about the SPY now, of whether we really test 260 or not, okay? And it really will depend on the market confirming. But let's talk about one key stock that you cannot, that changes the game a lot, and it's Apple. Okay. Now, Apple, on the other hand, has been very, I'm going to delete these lines for now, has been very, and then draw them in, has been very choppy. In other words, not able to drop. Now, let's take a look at the SPY here. Okay. Let's take a look at the SPY. And you can see that the SPY has dropped, right? So certain stocks are weak and certain stocks are not. For example, we had earnings today for BA, and BA actually ended up positive still for the day. Even though they dragged it down a bit, it is still positive, okay? Apple still remains in support chop. So it's a very key stock to watch, because unless it really breaks this level, if Apple doesn't want to break these levels to test where I said, which could be in the 206, then market probably won't want to test 260. Now, if Apple decides to break those levels, then the market's going to probably test 260. So, because notice when Apple showed power, the market showed power. In fact, that's what happened. We were in the SPY puts, okay? Everybody inside of may know this here. So we were in SPY puts this day right here, okay? Only for the market to open up weak. You can see the low here, but gain strength, right? And not only did the SPY gain strength, but so did Apple, immense strength, okay? Now, that's what was the confusing factor when that reversals were pretty powerful. And more often than not, when you get a reversal like that within key stock metrics, market continues higher. But we didn't confirm the SPY where Apple confirmed that it would want to go higher. So that's where we have this difficult scenario here, where there's stocks like Baidu. There are many stocks that are way weaker than Apple that want to go lower. And this what makes, hello Eric, and this what makes the market difficult. But let's talk about winning stocks plans that we were in. Now, I was talking about shorting NVIDIA. I got scared out of this plan, but was I right? Sure I was. We started shorting NVIDIA this day over here. Because of the Apple and the thing, I decided to get out of this as a break even. Only that NVIDIA goes down collapsing today. So it's going to happen. But the question I want to ask you, or even the people, was I wrong? Was I wrong or was I right? When you look at the outcome, we're talking about one day. And market conditions have been difficult, okay? Now, we're not talking about being wrong for years like a stock clown, or being wrong 100 points like a stock clown. Literally nothing. In fact, I was more correct massively than wrong. So you stock clown, the answer to you, you're still wrong. See, you don't look at the big picture. That's why you'll never make it big in this thing. You have to buy a small amount of shares because you're so wrong. We are very correct with options, okay? People make a lot of money following my advice. Now, lately, it's been difficult, right? But you're always going to have difficult periods. That's why you want to go smaller. The market, when I look at all my thought process, has been 100% correct. But even when you're 100% correct, you can still get shaken out on some plans. Now, stuff like Caterpillar. Let's talk about Caterpillar, people. All eyes on, let me take a look here. Let me take a look what some people, massive serious. Yeah, see, Mr. Bling knows, okay? And some of these key people know because you know something, unlike a lot of people out there, you know, these people have sent me dollar bills thanking me for my advice and my help. As I said to you, most people are stock clowns out there, are thinking wrong and want to be. If you want to be right for the wrong reasons, you're going to lose in the long term of things, okay? We are right for the right reasons majority of the time. And I was right about the market. Did I say the market was not going to pull back and test? I said that on anybody can check my live streams what I said. And was I right? Yeah. But did the market make it easy? No, it did not. Not this time. So the stock clown cannot be correct. He needs to be massively wrong first before he's correct. That means you don't know what you're doing. Anybody can do that. That's throwing darts in the sky. You don't have skill. Try doing it with options and you'll get massacred. You can't do what I do. You don't have this skill. So that's the answer to the stock clown. That's chicken to come and that's chicken to meet me. That's chicken to fight with me. That's chicken to put plans out and go one-on-one. That's chicken to sign the paper for $500,000. It's just chicken. Okay? Chicken guy. But flaps his mouth, right? That guy's a loser and anybody listens to the guy is a loser, right? So I wanna tell people the way it is, okay? You listen to my streams and my videos, okay, and see how I outclass just about everybody out there. I know what I'm talking about. And what I want to do is make money through the right metrics, okay? I was right, the SPY, but the SPY never made it easy, okay? We were right on the short position, okay? Can you imagine we're right on a short position, but got stuck? But look at that way, look at the power of the reversal, right? Now with options, we can't hold stuff like that. There was that question. However, we never confirmed. Okay, and they pounded this down. So be it. It's going to happen. Okay, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm not too concerned that about missing out on something being right, because that's going to happen, because we're massively right. Listen, I have so many documented videos of being massively correct options, okay, where the stock clown has been wrong, all those things. It continues to be wrong, right? A lot of people are going to be, they're not going to go anywhere in life, because if you don't want to understand that there is no perfect anything in the thing, but the question is, are you right more than you're wrong? And that talking about direction, and that is the key to success. If you can't be right, if you don't even understand what happened. So why did the SPY falter? It could have not faltered. I even stated inside of Power Group Trades that if the SPY, as long as the SPY holds 268, and it could have, that we would be okay, but they did not. Now I'm going to say that I looked at all the metrics. You know, we have a lot of stocks that are weak, but it comes down to, does the SPY want to confirm this point still? So if the SPY confirms this point here, which I'm going to explain, I'm going to be posting in Power Group Trades what I'm looking at, recovery numbers and all these things, then the SPY will contest 260. Now, if we test 260, we say, that might be the bounce point as well, right? We don't want to assume or guess. We want to see what happens, okay? But I talked about a SPY 260 in my live streams, right? I also said that I'm willing to switch if the market you know what, the market, this was, like, you look at Tesla had earnings, okay? Even though the SPY had fallen, Tesla had earnings, but Tesla was set up for a bounce higher. And it does well after hours. So I'm going to put up Tesla. I want to show you this, right? So this is why the market is not, you cannot, if you think that you can understand the market by the metrics of the old world thinking of the year 2000, you're totally off your rocker. We are in this market is new dynamics, never seen by anyone before, okay? And most people are confused by this market. I am not. In fact, my system, there's a point where no system, when you're trying to be perfectly, you're correct all the time, okay? In fact, I was. The fact of the matter, I was. But when you're trying to do that with options, it's extremely hard in these conditions. However, I was correct, and that's what I know. I know this already. Even though I did not catch the moves, I was on the right ball, and it's all documented inside of Power Group Trades, and my followers know this. So if we look at Tesla. You know, after hours, we hit a high of 32, and we're still above some key levels. And so tomorrow is going to be an interesting thing. Tomorrow is where we need information. Can the SPY confirm? How does the SPY confirm? It's not a simple thing. How does Tesla hold above these levels? So these answers, they need to be, if you're a stock clown, you assume that, oh, the SPY, the SPY goes down, it's a market trade, everything goes down. No. Well, NVIDIA, what's going on with NVIDIA money flow? NVIDIA fell, like I said. Let's talk about NVIDIA. That's a good point, money flow. We were short NVIDIA, okay, and because of the action in Apple and the SPY, we got scared out. I exited NVIDIA for break even when it turned out to be a massive winner. See, so I'm not going to be upset by it, because I know that the market is in new territories never seen before. That's just why the stock clown is wrong for years on end, because his old way of thinking cannot measure true movement. That's why he needs to go in small amounts and uses the words You can't claim to be you're right when you're wrong by 100% on it. For example, Nvidia from $12 he was wrong, and Nvidia rises to 34, claims that you're not correct. You were correct if you were never short. You went long at Nvidia and then you shorted Nvidia at 34. That makes you correct. We made the money. You were losing money, and no one likes to hold positions 100% against them. We don't do that. Nvidia wasn't 100. Nvidia wasn't even against me. I had a stop at break even, hit my stop because it should that actually shouldn't have happened, but that's due to the way the market and Apple was reversing, and that was it. But was I wrong, Nvidia? See, that's the question I want to ask people right now. Was I wrong, Nvidia? Yeah, we are all guessing. It's a matter of being a skilled guesser or a stock clown guesser. We are all guessing no. No, no, not true. Not what I do. What happens is with the market, you can get mixed signals, and that's what we have. If we look at Nvidia, let me explain this another way. So you see Nvidia. Nvidia broke down with the market, but did Apple break down? And this is the big difference here, people. I'll tell you what a real bear market had. If there was a real fear in the market, this Apple wouldn't do what it's doing. Apple is a key stock here. You know, in the new world, Apple right now, until otherwise stated, is, let's take a look at Apple. Now, let's talk about the stock clown, right? That thinks that he knows what he's talking about, that can give advice to people. Well, how do you give advice when you are wrong? This stock's still from $140, okay? So you don't know what you're talking about. So that's my answer to the stock clown. You don't know what you're talking. The stock clown, by the way, stalks me, is in my group, and pretends to be a follower, and to know exactly everything. Yet only talks about, doesn't see the big picture still. That's the mainstream loser mentality, and he's number one. He's the king clown out there. King clown. So I ask you guys, how right can somebody be when they said that the Apple was bearish at 140? So you're still short Apple from 140 and it's at 215, but you think you're right. So if Apple was to come down, do you think that the stock clown is right? No. Because Apple moved massively against his short positions. Even BA to this day. Let's talk about BA. So who's been right the big picture? It's been me. About down or up, I'm not massively wrong. And billionaires would get rich off of my advice, that they have the holding power more than average people do. The stock clown's advice does not make money compared to mine. And I bet that listen, any billionaire goes up against with my advice, and we hold stuff based on my metrics. Billionaire, and a clown. You take a billionaire with the clown, a billionaire with me. Who's gonna win? They're gonna be in the toilet, not the stock clown, because I'll catch more metrics than him. We were right shorting. We were right with the puts, but with options, we don't have that weight. We don't want to be wrong massively. We can't hold stuff like that. It's harder to hold. Right? That's not my method. Like, my method can't be perfect all the time. But I was right. That's the point. That's my big point. I was right. Okay. Now let's talk about BA, people. These are good points. So stock, a lot of people gave me flack when it was 200. It's too high. It's too high, BA. It's too high, BA. Well, where's BA today, even when the market's doing what it's doing? So that's my proof of the stock clown. No, stock clown can't debate me on these facts, on these real facts. He wants to debate me on stupidity. Because he can't admit he's wrong, and when you can't admit you're wrong, you're going to be a massive loser in life. And your end will be so horrible, it won't be funny. Because you lie to the people, and nobody trades, nobody's going to be trading $20,000 positions and want to wait years to be right, to make money. That's not how people want to make money. Or have positions go against it. But imagine you have a $20,000. Let's just say, now, most people don't have $20,000. I know this for a fact, will go $20,000 positions like he said, and want to see their 20,000 position go against them $40,000 before they make money. Sorry, clown, but people don't want to lose $40,000 for a $20,000 investment, which is what you do all the time. Okay, if you were short AMD and AMD goes against you, and you said you had $20,000 positions, how much is that, people? Let's calculate that. Let's calculate that. AMD. So there's a point I'm making here. I want people to understand that you can be what you don't want to be is massively wrong. You want if you're massively wrong, that's why you can't make money in the markets. Okay, so let's look at AMD here. So AMD finally had some negative action. We had caught all this beautiful move though, and we got out up here and never got back in this anymore. But what's the question here? I talked about AMD. I want to say let's talk who is more right. I want to educate people here. I want to drive a point here. It's very important. I talked about AMD as a reversal back here in May around the $12 area, okay? And there was people who went long this and made a lot of money. Now let me ask you, who's still more correct? Me, who said that AMD was a good long that had a reversal? Look where AMD went. Now the stock clown was short all this. Now wants to claim that he thinks he's correct. No, man, you're wrong. You were wrong all this. No one's going to hold a position of $20,000 and be wrong. $40,000, $50,000 in the hole, like you claim, like your system would put a person in. That's what I wanna drive my point. That's fine about AMD. I don't like how much AMD wants to drop. It doesn't matter right now to me. What I'm trying to make a point is that the stock clown didn't know AMD was going to drop like this because stock clown was bearish all through this. So that means you don't know what you're doing. Now, I was bullish all through that. I had claimed that the AMD had made a shift, and I have the video documented at $12 area on confirmation. It did what I said exactly, word for word. I didn't expect AMD to go that high that quickly. However, I wasn't bearish AMD. And in fact, then I went long with options in this area here. And we made a massive gains. The stock clown, meanwhile, was massively wrong. Claims that he has skill and claims that he's telling people how to invest. You don't know how to invest, stock clown. I'm trying to teach people that you can't be that wrong. Now, let's talk about me, how right I am. So we were right massively. Everybody could have held my idea being long. And if you held, we would not be holding anymore at these areas. Because our system, we don't want to be wrong like a stock clown. We don't want to be. We want to win 100% gains. You want to be right, and when things don't work out, you take losses and move on. But sometimes you get chopped out of stuff, like I did with Nvidia. I mean, let's talk about Nvidia, and everybody knows this. We were in positions in Nvidia. You know, got out this day because I was afraid of what I saw with Apple. Because Apple is a key player in the new market. Well, see, even when you're right, okay, here's my point. Even when you're right, okay, you can still, the market can still, you can still be wrong, not wrong, but you can get scared out of positions, okay? But I got scared out of the position for the right reason. Because I've always said I'm adaptive. I would not fight the market. I've been bearish the market. I said, you know what? I think the market really needs to test 260 based on a lot of stuff. But the market, it fought its way hard. It never did it. I mean, it was difficult. Look, you got to realize this point here. We dropped this. We come back up like this, right? We even dropped lower, pulling up higher, right? And then drop. We couldn't confirm up this point here. So this is on all metrics. And now we're at that area where, okay, if we confirm SPY wants to go lower, does it mean everything goes lower? No. It means certain stocks are going to really want to go lower. Like if there's something that more likely will fail a lot more, stuff like Baidu, and we were short stuff like Baidu as well. We were short. We were not short. We were with puts, stuff like Caterpillar, and I didn't hold the earnings, but we held this point because we got out before earnings, and it still went down. Look at. So was I right, the big picture and stuff like Caterpillar, Home Depot? Because certain stocks are affected more than other stocks, right? So, but you still got Apple, okay? Now, I can tell you when you have a real bearish market, nothing can survive, but you got BA strong, Tesla still strong, okay? You got Apple strong. That's a changed metric in the market. You can't measure the market the same way with the year 2000 mentality, okay? The market made a strategic shift in 2013. I'm showing you here the SPY here. And let's take a look at the SPY here. And let's take a look at a monthly chart here, okay? Forget about this daily chart here, okay? Let's take a look at a monthly chart, okay? Do you know that this is the, okay, now we're at that testing zone. We finally tested this point. But the stock clown, for example, has been wrong all through this. And if you think that this one month drop that it's ended up being is the end all be all of the market, you're out to lunch. It's not that simple, this market. Now, I'm not guessing where this, I know support level numbers, and I'm watching metrics, okay? But I knew, and I wasn't wrong about the pullback of the market. I didn't tell people, let's go long positions. We weren't even, and if anything, the only position we went long in was Apple calls. Only because Apple did something in most times, 9 out of 10 times when it does the action it doesn't do what it did today. But it's still fine, Apple. It's still fine. Right? It's a matter of what does it do, where does it hold at those levels. I have to watch key levels. We're not guessing the market, right? Let's take a look at Apple's monthly chart. I want to talk, let's think about this too here, AAPL. This is where everybody's a clown out there. Most are clowns. Look at Apple's monthly chart. Does that look like a bearish stock to you? So the stock clown says he'll be right eventually. No, you're wrong because you don't know how to short the right stock, anything. You're wrong. You're wrong, and you've been quiet only, and you started flapping your mouth only because the market finally did something where I said was going to do anyways. But you were wrong all this, the whole upward move. Right? Would you agree, people? Well, I've been right. I mean, where is Apple? Apple is even higher. Apple is $215 stock, okay, in 2018. Stock clown never thought in his wildest dream that the SPY Apple would be 200. That's just where he can't. I would love him to come in here and debate me about Apple. All we have to do is talk about this one stock, and he's lost the battle. Or talk about Apple and BA. That's it. Talk about how you handle Apple and BA, and tell me if you know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You don't. Right? Most people don't. I do. Right? I do know what I'm talking about. You look at that. Now, that is not possible in a bear market. This is not a simple market. We are in a new era, okay? Because we never had companies that had so much influence before, like Apple, Google, Facebook, Twitter. These, in small amounts, these companies are so large and powerful. But they're making real money, massive earnings. Massive growth. We're in this market. You can't measure. It's not a simplistic thing that it's just going to do this, because if you're thinking back in 2000, the year 2000, you're going to lose. You're going to lose the big picture, right? That's why Stock Clown can't do what I do. He'll never be able to do, because he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no clue what he's talking about. Let's talk about the SPY here. So you mean to tell me he's been bearish, but look at the run this market has had. So do you want to be wrong for a decade? Look, 9 years wrong. The market is still trending higher. That's the big picture. Okay, that's what you look at. I said many times we're going to have monthly problems. So we had this month. It happened to take out, but what the SPY did and what a lot of other stocks did, they didn't lose their value. Apple didn't. Apple is, look at, if you measure the SPY still, are we higher? Let's take a look at this point here. Are we still higher than we are back in January? In January of 2018? Yeah. Are we still higher than when the stock clown said that the SPY was a bubble at 225 right over here? Yeah. So who is wrong still massively? Stock clown, right? That's called old world thinkers out there. That's all the people on CNBC News who don't know what they're talking about, who don't know how to make money in the market. And most of these stock clowns out there or services, they don't know how to talk. They don't know what really is going on in the market, okay? And billionaires want that kind of metrics. They want that metrics. How do we make real money? You make real money, you need to know real direction. I've been talking real direction and being massively correct real direction. That's the truth. In fact, I warned about the market pulling back weeks ago. And that's what happened. And we were in short positions. But we were scared up on some positions because we were in, everything was right. NVIDIA, correct. I'm going to put it up, people. This is the truth. Everybody knows. I didn't catch these now. Right? But I don't care. Because when I see the outcome, I know I was right. Now, I'm still looking at, okay, what am I going to do now to plan it out? Because you don't want to revenge trade, right? You don't want to revenge trade. So you still want to be cautious and not call, because I know the tricks of the market here. Okay? But despite the SPY doing this, Apple did not. And that's what makes that stuff a bit tough. So certain stocks like Caterpillar, Home Depot, they collapsed. And guess what? We were in those puts. And anybody taking my advice and just holding, let's say you just went to sleep, you hibernated, not looked at the charts, you would waken up to money today. But on the stock clown, if you went to sleep 6 months ago, you're waking up. You're waking up to losses still. Losses. So, you understand, people? The key is to try to be right for the right reasons with a good strategy. And that's what I teach and I show my followers inside of PowerTarget trades. But perfection? I mean, this has been a hard month. It's not been the best month. I mean, we've been making money, not making money, but kind of going nowhere. You know, but look what but when the SPY finally did what it did, right? After that final massive trickery that it did that day, especially with Apple, right? You got to look at Apple. I want to show you this here. Why I feared this? Why I feared staying short those positions. Look at what Apple did. Now, Apple, that was a very look. All I can tell you is this: I know what I look at, and Apple's still strong. That makes this market a stock picker's market. That means certain stocks will be weaker. I mean, look at NVIDIA. I knew Netflix was bearish, okay? I'll give you an example, right? But it popped up quite a bit, right? In market, we had the SPY falling 400 points that morning. I thought, okay. But then, and there was never that, and then the next day they did what they were supposed to do. That is a tough call, right? That's not being wrong. That's one day. So let's say, I'm just giving you this theory. If you went to sleep one day on my advice, you would have waken up to massive profits. Let's say we all went, but you can't say that with someone like a stock clown. If you go to sleep, you're going to wake up to massive losses in red. You're going to go, what's going on, stock clown, bookie? What's going on? I mean, don't worry about it. They always will fall. You're waiting 1 or 2 years for that to happen. Nobody's going to do that. No one's going to hold $20,000 positions and want to be wrong that much. You could have made 20 times that money. Honestly, think about it. Instead of being 40,000 wrong per position, what about being right 40,000 wrong? He'd rather be right for the wrong reasons. And when you want to be right for the wrong reasons, you're going to lose in the long run. That's all I can tell you, people. So it's 9:30. So everybody knows we were right. Like I know what I put out. I know what I written down. But the market had that reversal 50-50 chance. And with Apple, if Apple didn't do what it did, I wouldn't have feared things as much. But Apple it's not a stock to ignore, because you got to realize where Apple is. Apple is a $200+ stock. And that means something. Okay, that definitely means something. Now, if that stock was to collapse, you want to see a bloodbath. But that is highly unlikely. Okay, but we don't need to look at that. We need to look at statistical measurement, and we're going to take it day by day. And our time is going to come when we're going to get those alignment days again. and we're going to be making money hand over fist the right way, where the stock clown is going to struggle and be wrong again and be confused. And mark my words, that will happen. And I will be talking about that as an education purpose, because I think the stock clown is a great education, because he's very mainstream thinking, but at the lowest end of the spectrum in here. When you can't admit you're wrong from SPY 225, then you definitely don't. You're definitely set up for massive failure. You just no. That's why he's gonna have. That's why he can never succeed, because sometimes you're your own enemy to yourself. I, however, have documented proof of how many winning plans of 100% win, 2, 3, 4, massively over and over again. Again, I was right, the big picture. I should have made a lot more money. But with options and the way the market acted, it was very, very difficult. But I was right, massively right. We did very well with stuff like Caterpillar. We were right, the SPY puts. Got scared out of the SPY puts on this move here. But we shorted here, this day right here. Right? This day is where we got in, the puts. People know this in my group. Lo and behold, I was massively correct, but didn't hold. That's okay. When you got listen, here's my message. When you have the big picture skills, you'll always, and you really know how to make money the right way, you'll always make massive wins. You'll always make massive comebacks. But when you think wrong, you'll always be in the wrong. Like the stock clown is wrong the majority of the time. And I would say as high as 90% of the time on what counts, on real stocks. I'm not talking about some of the garbage stocks he talks about here and there that he claims that no one saw anything about. When he talks about Apple or the SPY or BA or anything that's a real company, and when he wants to short them, and Netflix, he's massively wrong. Or Nvidia, massively wrong. Why doesn't he catch the shorts in those positions? Where was he short? Where was he short an inkling in Caterpillar or Home Depot? No. In fact, I told people back in my last live stream about Home Depot, right? Let's talk about Home Depot. Right? This is truth. Let's talk about the truth here. So, I talked about Home Depot. I think it was this. It was this day here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't fall hard, like fast, like a ton, but we went short this, and it just went down for days. It popped, and today even went down. But I think it had earnings or something. I'm not sure what happened with this, why I got out of this position. But anyways, we made good money in Home Depot. And to this day, Home Depot is still down. Now, I talked about this, and that was Wednesday. See that? Exactly. See this? My last live stream was on Wednesday, right here. And I talked about the market, how it favored lower, right? But did the market go lower? Let's talk about this, guys. So let's go back to that day. Okay. This is really good to talk about information, to how people understand. So here's the SPY, the 16th, okay? No, sorry. Where is it here? Okay, yeah, here's the SPY, the 17th. So what does the SPY do? It goes down, but it really doesn't crack lower. It just channels, kind of goes up and down here, right? We then decided to go short SPY, but okay, Caterpillar went down nice and easy. So did Home Depot, by the way. Oh, Caterpillar, that's another one. So we went short Caterpillar this day here, because it confirmed, right, in our plan. And was I right, Caterpillar massively? Yes. Did the stock clown catch that and that quickly? No. And now, I did not hold, let's be clear, we did not hold Caterpillar in this portion because that had earnings. But the key core was I was correct about the market and key things like Caterpillar and Home Depot, Nvidia, Netflix, Apple, even at Apple. But Apple has been a warrior, how we take and bounce very quickly. So Apple isn't a stock worth trying to short. You know, what was better to short, I said stuff like Home Depot, Caterpillar. You didn't hear me talk about shorting Apple anymore, right? Apple did go down, like I said, but it made it very difficult. And that's another thing is don't battle the difficult stocks. Battle the stocks that make sense, right? So everything I talked about going lower, the SPY, Home Depot, Caterpillar, Nvidia, Netflix, all correct. And within a day or two, we're not talking about being wrong for 3 months. So that's why I'm 1,000 times better than most people out there. 1,000 times better than the stock clown could ever be. Even though I didn't catch the full moves of everything. We did do pretty good on some options. The idea, the germ, the understanding. And when you have that power, correct, in this difficult market conditions, you have the power to make infinite amount of money. So, am I worried? No, because I can. We're gonna make tons of money. Like the story of FedEx is a great story. The stock clown, okay. This is a great story. Using TC2000. Okay, we were also short FedEx, but we didn't. I did not short that anymore. But again, I did talk about it going lower, and I had plans of it testing these levels, and it did. Now let's talk about the stock clown and PowerTarget trade. Yours truly. We talked about going long here. We talked about going long FedEx here. You know, and now the stock clown shorted it, and we made massive gains in options. Now, the stock clown wasn't just wrong a little bit here. If you were short in that 220 area and it went as high as 273, let me ask you people, do you want to hold that? And that's what this guy propagates, that it's going to come down. Yeah, it came down. It took a long time to come down. No one's going to want to hold position. No one wants to make money. That's not how we made money to the upside and to the downside at key levels. That is high skill. And that is never going to be achieved by old world thinkers or stock clowns. They don't have these skills. Yeah, I talked about Apple, Nicole. Now let's talk about Apple here. Let's be realistic here. Depending on what the market does, can Apple go and test? Wow. Yeah, the 209 area, like I was talking about. Of course it could. If the SPY can confirm a level, but it doesn't mean it has to. That's the thing. So personally, I wouldn't bother just trying to short a stock like Apple, because it's been very difficult to make. We've made some money in it, but it wasn't worth it. The money that was easy to make money in is things that are stock. Like if you want to short stuff or look to short things, you'd want to short stuff like Baidu. Okay, buy puts in Baidu or short Baidu or the Netflix or Nvidia. Especially if the weakness in the SPY continues. Now, if the SPY doesn't continue, that'll be a different. Again, I have to see certain action tomorrow. I was expecting the market to break down. I'm going to show you. I was sidetracked by 1 day, and this is going to happen. I'm kind of upset by this, but I was still right. Like we were short from here, okay? We had November 275 puts, okay? So let's take a look at what the value of them are now today. I'm going to put up the options chain here. November, where are we here? No, November 16 puts, okay? I want to show you this, okay? And I didn't get these. I was right, but I got, because of what happened yesterday. Fucking thing. Okay. Okay, let me just put puts. I don't know why I'm having difficulty here. Okay. Let me hit this symmetrical SM. Okay. Fuck, it still didn't pull up to 275 puts. So far, holy fuck, today they really opened up the okay, which is a good. So these are today they closed $1,000 a piece. Okay, so they doubled in value. Okay, so we were right, and they doubled in value today. I talked about that the SPY could test this level here, 265 to 260 in the SPY plan, but we got scared out of the plan. And what if the market had done what I said it was going to do? Well, then what would the stock clowns? He would still say, "Oh, he stole." You know, anyways, that's where I keep telling people that if you want to be right for the wrong reasons, then you're going to lose the big picture. That's why I've proven without a shadow of a doubt the stock clown is lost for all the wrong reasons all the time. I think I covered everything. Anybody have any questions? I'm gonna pack it in. I wanted to explain this. We're in for a very bright future, I can assure you. My thought processes and how I'm adapting to the market is bang on. We are in a very different era. In other words, nobody in the past can adapt as quickly or has the same thought processes. They just don't have it. They're making money. If you make money the wrong way, okay, so I will admit, like I'm saying that I didn't catch the move, but I was right. And I was right, right? I was right to SPY. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Saw it. By the way, who's the stock clown? No, the stock clown is. I don't know. Hopefully you're not the stock clown is somebody called stock bookie. I've never seen a more ridiculous individual. So wrong, but he's also like the guy trolls me, heavily trolls me. That's why. And at the same time, it became clear to me how it would be a good education to explain people how terrible and bad his advice is. And he thinks he's good. Like he sucks. Like I told him, I wish he would battle me with like for options for people that you have to trade the options the right way. The guy would have handsly down lost. If we would have betted, like I said, and the guy keeps chickening out. Okay, I said to him, let's post the plans. Let's show everybody everything. Let's do it. Let's sign the papers, I said. The guy owes me $40 million by now. $40 million, easy. $40 million. He's so wrong. He keeps making excuses all the time. Where's this? Where's that? I told him, listen, let's sign the papers. Let's post everything for everybody to see. I'm gonna clean you out. You can't. Yeah, I already know. I've done my metric studies. You can't win. You can never win because you were so wrong for years on end before anything is right. We can't do that with options. We've got to be right, and we were right. One day. This is what happened because of this day and what Apple did. Or else I was right. What I said since Wednesday, which the Wednesday I think the 17th, yeah, was bang on. The market was going to test lower. Right? I never said, and I also said the market is still bullish. Look at people. I want you to understand this market, okay? So people think, oh, the market's just going to go down. No, it's not that simple. You know, if you think it's that simple, well, then good luck to you. It's not that simple. Because you got Apple, you've got Amazon, you have key stocks that change this game, and the way they act changed this game massively. Okay, even stocks like Tesla, it changes the game's metrics massively. That's why you have a lot of people that have old world skills that have a lot of money that are still massively wrong. Okay. Let me ask you a question. I want you to ask a question, you people. Forget about what happened today or what the market is. Ask yourself a question. If you measure from this point to this point, okay, is the market massively higher? So, from 2009, we've been massively higher. There's been people like the stock clown fighting it. They said it was too high over here. Massively wrong again. Too high over here. Massively wrong. This is 1 month bar. That's still not ended yet. Okay. Now that we're at this level here, I tell you, this 260 area can be a pivotal zone. But I need to see the action there. I'm saying it can be a very pivotal zone because of stocks like Apple. That's all. Because of key stocks like Apple and Teslas and BAs. Okay? Companies that are making money out of the yin-yang. That's not a bearish market. Yo-yo stock-com. Okay? Real earnings are in real companies. That's what drives the market higher. Not the companies that don't deserve to be higher, they get driven lower. Right? For Caterpillar, or I don't know what happened with AMD, but AMD still at its price levels or where it went was awesome, was amazing. And we caught that because we went with the flow. Why they pulled AMD back the way it did, I don't know, and I don't want to know. That's not how I trade. I couldn't care less right now. We're not in AMD, and so I don't have a worry about AMD. Or now, do I like AMD anymore now? I'm not going to fight like a stock con to be right. No, we don't. That's how you lose. When you want to be right. When you can't say, you know what? When a trade doesn't work, what do? We abandon it and I move on. I don't focus on it like the stock con, waiting to be right. That mentally makes you weak. If you want to win, you want to get into plans that make money, and when they don't work, get out and get into other plans. That's how you win in the market. And always attack what makes the most sense. To short Apple makes no sense. You don't want to short something like an Apple. It's not worth it. I mean, I know because we tried, and it wasn't like what was beautiful to short was Caterpillar, Home Depot. They had the alignment with the market at the time. Now, the reason why a lot of this, anyways, I'm not going to talk about the alignments now because I don't want to get into it, but I can tell you, I assure you, I am so on top of what's going on. I am not upset at what happened, because when you understand the big picture or why things happen, then you really truly will win in the market and make a lot of money. And that's what it's the long run, okay? What happens between now and 2019? Can the SPY, is the SPY still on track to test 300? Yeah, sure it is. Is it going to do it this year? I don't know. It might be in 2019. It might not happen, but we were close. Let's talk about where we went. We went 293. The stock con, I bet you any money never anticipate, and that's why you don't want to guess the market. You want to work with the market's flow, not go against it, not guess it. That's not what I do. Why? That's a losing weight. What we want to do is so lately I've been, which you never hear me talk about puts, but I knew that the market had a good chance to pull back. But now, guess what? Even though it looks so bearish now, that 260 area, that could be a trickery area. So, anyways, we'll wait. Tomorrow I'm gonna get more information. Okay? I care about making the big picture money. I don't really care about the baloney movements right now. The market didn't go as smoothly to the targets that I wanted to test 260, but we're pretty much there now. We had 265 now, right? So, Power Ticker Trade, yours truly, I was a right leader from the SPY, February 11, 2016, all the way up. I've been talking about bullish until recently. I've changed my tune in the short term for the SPY to test 260. And I was right. No, you don't need to wait 2-3 months like a stock con. My method. So I ask you, who has a better chance to make money? Someone who's right within a day or two? Or is even maybe wrong for not more than 1 or 2 days? Or a stock con massively wrong for years on end? That's the question I want to ask you. And that's a lot of these guys out there are massively wrong. They've been telling people, don't invest in Apple. It's too high, Apple 140. Yeah? Tell me now that Apple's a 215 stock, clown. Tell the billionaires that you cost them all kinds of money not being long Apple. You want to talk about that? No, that's what I'm trying to say to you. It really depends on what the SPY does now, tomorrow, and how we defend the 260 area, because Apple is the problem. Now, what would cause Apple? Well, I'll tell you right now. I mean, it's simple here. I mean, this is all documented. I mean, but AAPL. Don't discount this stock. That's all I can tell you. This has a powerful metric in the market. Why? Think about it. Apple 215. You know, Carl Icahn never thought this would make it to 200 after he thought it was a no-brainer. He didn't even think it would hit 200. So trust me, people. The market ain't easy. You know, it even fools billionaires. Okay, and imagine the information he has, or whatever information he has. Again, outdated. Outdated. You understand me? Like I'm proving my point here. The billionaire wrong in Apple. He missed it. He was popping it, but when the way the market is, it's so more complex now that the old world thinkers cannot adapt to this new world. They can't. That's why Carl Icahn missed the move. Okay, in Apple, not power trigger trade. Right? I'm bigger than these fucking guys out there. Okay, I'm bigger than them in the way I think. I know. When you have that, when you have the thinking ability, the mind can listen. Again, I tell the story of Apple. Apple was a company that was in a garage. And look where it is now. And that's by a mindset of an individual. Now, he was a hard-working individual, right? He created a device, the iPhone, okay? Now, everybody that uses these smartphones are, everyone's with them all the time. Everywhere you go. They're addictive devices. They do everything. You can record videos with them, play games on them, trade with them, make trades on them, make everything. You can do everything with a smartphone. And Apple was the first to lead that. And that's what caused the company. But the guy had the idea. Steve Ballmer at the time scoffed at Steve Jobs, said that no one's going to buy a $500 phone. An idea can outclass anybody. Steve Jobs put multiple billionaires out of business. Like companies, he massively. One company makes a device that totally changes everybody from Google. Everybody who's following Apple. I mean, Google's a great company. I'm just, well, everybody following Apple? You know. Of course, Amazon had their model, and they're doing very well. They're very, but I'm saying, in terms of technology, I mean, what is causing? What is everybody using to this day? A phone, using a smartphone, right? It's like people can't live without their smartphones. Everywhere you go, you look carefully, and they're looking at their phones constantly. Apple has people loving their stuff, buying their stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why we live in a different times now. There was no such thing as an iPhone. It's such a huge business, the smartphone business. I mean, Samsung's making killer money. Google's making killer money. All these other phones are, you have all these companies trying to making great smartphones for people to use. You know what I mean, people? It's like, that's why the market is different. It's not the same market. You didn't have an iPhone. You didn't have people, the way people use these devices, and then the carriers. All the carriers and the money that they make. You think the phone companies were able to charge what they're charging for their phones now? Like, how many companies are making money? Massive money. And people are spending $1,000 on phones. Like a lot of people. They don't care. It's worth it to them. They'll spend $1,000. There's people who talk like... So many people will spend. You're gonna have the more people will spend the less on the phone, but it doesn't matter. But people, to buy a phone, as long as it does the job, and it's amazing. These phones, $1,000, they're worth it. They're everything. It's a hard drive. It's a portable hard drive, video camera, internet connector, everything. 2007, Steve Jobs set the whole trend, changed, and one man created, he put billionaires, multi, to lose tons of money, companies out of business that were thriving, like Nokia. Now Nokia now makes smartphones still, and then uses the Google operating system. They're making some good stuff right now. But what I'm saying is they're nowhere near the power they were, used to be 10 years ago. So the market's changed. So much business dynamics have changed. The market has changed. And I created a system that adapts with the market. But this market, sometimes no matter how good you adapt, you still can be. I was off by a day because, like I said with the SPY plan, we were right. We were right. Look at Apple. I mean, was Apple affected like the SPY? That's why that's why this market isn't the same. Like, people don't get this, right? Certain stocks are going to be affected. Like, look at, oh, that's the one. SPY, S. See? Was I right? Was I on the ball? I was on the ball. I told people to go long this market, and I told people to get out of the market. So we got out of positions. We tried for some shorts. That's skill. That's how you succeed. Adaptive thinking will always outclass anybody out there. And I tell people, tell the stock clown to sign the papers. We will post our plans, and we will watch me decimate the stock clown. Baiji's got to pay me for that when I beat him. Fair and square, plan for plan. He's got to try to do it in my world on options, where you have to have good timing skills. Chicken, you know, you can find out. You go ask the guy. Go, you know, I want people to go out there and says, challenge power trick or trade. Challenge him and see what he tells you. You'll see how he'll make excuses. He'll make excuses. He's afraid. He's a chicken. I know he can't beat me. He can't win because he's too wrong. Buffett said they are worth way more than the sticker price. Consider how much value people get out of them. Are you talking about the double? Are you talking about the iPhone? Yeah, you know, if you're talking about the iPhone, yeah. Especially the new iPhone, especially the newer phone, the iPhone, anything that's a 6-inch screen, those things are addictive. The phones, okay. Personally, I never liked the smartphones under 6 inches. But now you go to any smartphone with a 6-inch screen, you can actually view videos if you have to go somewhere to go. There are games you can play on those that are really good, that really work good on a smartphone only. So a person, if they're out on a thing, they want to play a game, or they play on their phone and they have this amazing screen, clear screen, and they can play their game, unique games that are only on a smartphone. And then you want to take a video, you want to take a picture, you can do that, right? You want to connect on the internet, you want to get an answer, you want to see your map. This one device, it can do, I mean, a lot of things. I mean, you still want to use, if you're you still want to have a computer and all that, but I'm saying it's like a big extension. It's like that's why people are now computerized. We're a computerized society where you have your laptop, or then you have your smartphone, and your computer's with you everywhere. And then, for example, you have a few. Let's say I like working with Android operating system, but Apple works the same way. So when you download something, when you record something, it automatically goes to the cloud, and that video is now available for your computer to use and at your device. So if someone's at your home and they want to see that same picture, they can go access it. Because it's on the cloud. The devices have it on the device and in the cloud. So any device like your computer can access that. That's why these companies have such power, because these devices no one wants to be without them. So they can command that's why Apple keeps raising the prices. And that's why Samsung's making a killing too, because some people, they want to use the Android operating system. That's fine. I mean, Apple can't sell all the phones to everybody, right? Apple has a big market for themselves, right? That keeps getting more and more money. They can command the top. In fact, they put cheaper models. People still want to buy the expensive models, right? But that's just fun. So Apple is a unique company. And it's a metric I've said that a bullish Apple is good for the market. That's why this market isn't so simple. Even though the market is weaker than Apple, doesn't mean that the market's going to collapse. You got to look at stocks like BA too, right? That these are companies that make serious money, right? These aren't baby companies. These aren't penny stock companies. Okay, these are real companies that are serious to the economy. Okay, if these suckers in Amazon, like Amazon, Google, these are the serious players. Okay, right? That's an uptrend. This sucker can flip on a dime. So, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, oh, it's going to do a lot of guesses out there, right? I knew this was a difficult company to try to do anything to. But in the end, Amazon is in a very strong uptrend. Look at that. And the stock clown, he claims that his method knows how to make money. I want you to think about what I'm showing you here, people. Who's wrong? The bull or the bear? Just look at the metrics. Let's look at, I'm gonna just finish this off with some burning. Put up the SPY. You're a bear from here, like the stock clown. You're massively wrong. Here's the shift, people. Let me explain this again. And explain this very carefully here. Okay. This is what happened. Okay. During this time, we had the housing crisis, the dot-com bubble. If you look at where Amazon was and where Amazon is today and where the market is today, in order for that to happen, real growth had to happen. And that's why the market is not going to make these type of corrections. This was a massive correction back then. Stock clown is still stuck in the year 2008. Still stuck in the year 2001. This is different now. When we broke out of this channel wedge pattern that I explained, there was a game-changing moment starting. In fact, this is even when Apple was bullish, okay, with the iPhone. The iPhone had just started at the time, okay? Let's talk about this carefully here. Apple came down with the market massively. But then Apple reversed from here, okay? I'm going to tell you the story. I was an Apple shareholder since the $120 area, and it went to 1,000. Then it pulled back, and then it did a 7 to 8 to 1 split. So Apple then turned from it was about a $571 company, and they opened up around 80, 81. Okay, so imagine being correct all through all that time. So we were wrong. Because we had bought this, okay, and this market had dropped. It was the end of the world in 2009, okay? But the market reversed. You have no idea. I remember even how negative Carl Icahn was. It was the end of the world here, and look where the market went. Don't disregard change, my message here. Things change, people. The old world thinkers don't have a clue. They'd be broke if he was to put billions in. See, you think he was right? He put his life savings in this. He would owe his net worth 100 times over in being massively wrong. They even them have to be careful now. They know they don't know what they're talking about, right? You got Carl Icahn is perfect proof. Apple's a no-brainer at 200. He withdraws. Warren Buffett comes in at 90. And Apple is now sitting at 216. So I want you to think about this. Billionaires have massive resources of information. But do you think that everybody knows what they're talking about? Even people who so-called have skills, they don't. It takes one man, okay, and to make game-changing thought processes. Not thousands of people, because it gets a water. One man. Steve Jobs changed everything in technology. Okay? It was him with the iPhone. It wasn't Bill Gates to think about it. He got the iPhone out because his own CEO scoffed at thing. That's what I'm talking about, game-changing thought processes. That it's not going to be found in people who have money. Only who have money. That's not the driver. If your sole goal is only for the money point, that doesn't make you the best. What makes you the best is how you can make change and how you can call things the right direction the majority of the time. That's the game-changing thought process, not what that guy does. Okay, so I think this is a great live stream to educate people out there that you want to be right for the right reasons. And when you're right for the wrong reasons, it's going to get you. You're going to lose. And remember you're going to lose a lot of your money. When you make the money the wrong way, which is what the stock clown makes money the wrong way. He doesn't know what he's doing at all. End of story. And how do we easily debate it? We'll put up stocks like Apple, Nvidia, BA, and we talk about them. And him being wrong, all of them, everything, even Win. Right? He claims, oh, Win came, but Win went exactly $100 against his position. Now that he claims to be right in. Right? You know, it's such clown city. This stock I couldn't care. I mean, once this stock lost this area over here, the point with the stock clown is that the guy was wrong since here. It's so far away. I have to close this. It's so ridiculously wrong. Right over here is where this is where I got into arguing with that guy, and he never would. This is the insanity of this. Right around 106 area. So you mean to tell me that you're wrong all the way to a high of 201, yet you claim to be right to the market, and he was wrong. 106, all here, all this. He kept on. And then it goes up more. But no, people want to hold $20,000 positions and be wrong for 2 years. Yeah. That's how you make money, stock clown. Yeah. Go. You know, take a hike. So who's the stock clown? Well, that's stock clown thinking. I just want to explain that to you. Think about what I'm saying here, okay? I'd rather be, like I said, making money the right way. So we made money. This stock, I don't really like this stock anyways, but when it comes to Apple or BA or FedEx, we were right going long and also in puts. In the SPY, long and also in puts. Not the stock clown. Not most people that are wrong. And that's how you make money. Adapting and changing. Never fighting. Look, when your position doesn't go, when your position goes against you, as long as that happens less often than not, and you're able to catch big gains, you're always going to be in a surplus. But it takes a strategy and the right mindset, and that's how you succeed. Right? Nobody can be perfect. There's there's an impossible variable in there. But as long as you're right, and again, we are right 80-90% of the time. 80 to 90% of the time. I'm at Home Depot. You name me anything I talked about in Power Group trades. If we look at the outcome of what I said, I was right. I was off again by a day because of the scare of what Apple did. That it reversed that, but it can still chop. I'm just saying. So anyways, my outcome, I was talking about Apple, like I mean the SPY, right on this, right in here, in this area here. Because it was going up, and I'm going, you know what? It's still bearish in my opinion. And you know what? I was right. I got scared out this day, but I was right. We were in the put options. Everybody knows that. As you said, they can't afford to be wrong and lazy. At that level, I would assume most people are out of touch with reality and lost their hunger. That's right. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Bling, you know, is a group member inside of Power Group Trades. He knows. He sent me gifts and everything. He knows. In fact, he was in some. I think you were in some put. You were in the put positions yourself, and made some money in them. Of course, they made a lot more money, right? Everybody knows in the group who are able to make it. So not everyone can make it to the live streams because of the time zones. You know, for me, what I'm doing, I know, but I can't do the live streams any earlier than this time. Anyways, guys, I think I made some great points. I'm going to be making some more updates inside of Power Group Trades. Have a good night, people. I'm fatigued. I have a new system and I have to go to sleep. Have a good one, people.